Hello one and all and welcome to episode 31 of the Contest Round podcast. If you don't know already, we're available on YouTube. We've got a special playlist, SoundCloud, Spotify and iTunes podcasts. Thank you for all the love and support. Make sure you're following those particular things, either Spotify, iTunes and SoundCloud. And yeah, like if you're interested in the YouTube version, you're interested. If you don't know already, this is episode 31, which I've entitled Mutant Reckoning is at Hand, because it is just that. The game is going to change for a very mutant edge next month. And talking about all this stuff and more is Dan of Frontline MCOC, who you can find at www.frontlinemcoc.home.blog and as well on Twitter. Links for him is in the bio. Links for him. Links for himself. I don't know Dan, I've not done a very good job again. Where's another week and I've not introduced you correctly?
It's okay, Rich. It's a running gag at this point.
It is. Next week I need to do better. I think I've just overcome with all the excitement that people were even correcting me on my grammar and spelling when it came to he's here. He's finally here. So
yes,
there we go.
There's so much going on. I as an X-Man fan and a fan of the Mutants, I am super excited about what's coming next month.
Which, if you don't know already, where you been living under a rock? If anybody don't know what's going on, it is mad. Years in the making. There have been teases here and there, and yes, indeed, Apocalypse is on the way. But we'll get to that in a little bit. So, Dan, this week, following on from last week, I got a Twitter message, or Twitter, I don't know what they call them, Twitter post. It wasn't it certainly wasn't DM. Nobody slided into my one's DMs. I am a loyal gentleman to my lady love, and I would not allow such a heinous act. But Curtis contacted and said, just finished listening to the podcast, and wanted to let you know that as someone who was part of the Pain Point Posse, so I'm glad that name stuck.
Yes.
Stuck. God, honestly, Dan, I can't speak properly. Same thing as most times. It says you probably haven't heard anything because it wasn't really clear at the end what we could disclose or not. Going further to say there was plenty of feedback given, submitted over 20 pages, and then further to that, saying hoping that the changes are done. Which I thought was good. A good thing to lead us into. And also what is coming next month, which is nerfs to 6.3, is it?
6.3 and 6.4.
6.3 and 6.4.
Yeah, so they're getting the 200% attack buff from the globals out of 6.3. 6.4 has a 300% global attack boost that is being removed, and then they're also knocking down a couple of the health buffs in 6.3.2 and 6.3.3. So
nice.
Certainly doesn't look like all the changes, but they are slowly starting to ratchet things back, which is what we wanted to see.
Yeah, that's going to be good for future progression. I think for me, I still go with 100%ing Act 6 by the end of November.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. End of the year.
Yeah, it's one of these things where I'm not sure if I'm going to have as much time. And I was thinking to myself, oh, this is great. Summertime is going to be more chill. Kabam aren't going to put out more content. Boy, was I wrong.
Well, you were wrong this month for sure. Wow. I don't know about you, but I'm scrambling to get all these difficulties done with the boss rushes and the side quest events. There is just a lot to do, and now of course we've got the Legends event. So
yeah,
I am auto fighting the Gold Realm literally as we speak.
Oh God, I'm gonna have to do that as well. You see, you're reminding me that of like stuff that I've got to do. I think it was a case like. Also, I'm not. Well, I am scrambling because I was scrambling yesterday to do the Arcus shards.
Oh man, I must have done that a half dozen times yesterday.
Yeah, it by the end of it, just like grates on my nerves, especially if some of the champions are like not you. Today I did the Mysterio one because I was like, I'm low on tier 2 alpha, so I thought I'll give it a bit of a grind. But some of my best champions are in Alliance Wars, and that's another kind of like issue. I mean, yeah, could I have brought in a 4-star version of Medusa or Captain Marvel movie? But why would I for like? I mean, I kind of think to myself, if I had my 6-star and 5-star version respectively, so 5-star Medusa, 6-star Cap Marvel movie, I'd be able to blast through that. I had one time I was able to blast through it, and it was just it didn't cost me any revives. It was kind of straightforward. But instead, I was like, oh, I got to bring in OG Cap Marvel, nothing against her, and I had Hyperion, so those 2 champions there. And it was like, it was hard work. And then building a team around it, having to find poison immunities that I could Heimdall synergy in order to do Toxicant. Just, you know what it's like, Dan. It's just...
that Herald difficulty's no joke.
Yeah.
And I think what people are going to run into this week is they're going to keep getting those tokens, but they're not going to be able to run their preferred map of the week.
Yeah,
because it's not going to come back around. Like I think the Vision one, the Vision Arcus one, was identified as the easy one, probably because if you have one of the god tier mystics, you can basically turn him off.
Yeah,
and the rest of that lane's pretty easy. But yeah, that one's not coming back. So if you want to use the rest of those tokens, you're going to have to either battle it out or drop down in difficulty level.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm going to have to suck it up and put some, follow my own advice, suck it up, put some boosts on Sunday and go for a void grind.
Yeah.
Not looking forward to it, but needs must at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, those rewards are pretty good, so you don't want to let them go to waste.
That's true. Okay, moving swiftly on. Now, even though like we haven't really got an idea of the Act 6 changes that are going to come in place, there will be more info there may be more info or no changes in the future. So if there's anything like you say with Act 6, people say with Act 6, we need further changes. I'm sure that there will be more feedback given, especially from what Curtis put on Twitter, was that there was a lot of feedback, and he may choose to give a lot of public notice of like his feelings towards stuff and comparable things. But moving on from Act 6, talking about Hulkbuster Map 7 compensation. Dan, did you get compensated in the end?
I did not get compensated. People in my alliance got compensated, but you had to actually fight the Hulkbuster to get the compensation, and I did not fight him, so I didn't get anything, which I can't really argue with. So everyone in my alliance was happy, or at least nobody complained about the compensation in my alliance. But we're not pushing Map 7 5 days a week with epic mods, so we did not face the most difficult version of the Hulkbuster, certainly.
Yeah, I can imagine. I'm then a bit stumped with because we covered on Friday. Well, this is going out Friday. This is being recorded on Friday, so today's Marvel Contest Champions news. I did cover the story from the point of view of the players that were frustrated. So there were pockets of people that were unhappy with it. But I guess that's the thing. Did you then make the decision to either drop the epic modifiers or drop down the type of map you were doing at that given time?
No, we haven't worked up to epic mods on Map 7 yet. We run them on Map 6. So we're still kind of learning Map 7, so we're taking it easier on the modifiers. But yeah, we're pretty much 2 days a week, so it didn't end up changing our plans too much, and I think our guys had seen that Hulkbuster enough that they knew to prepare themselves. The first couple times, I think everyone was caught off guard with how to handle that fight, and it's not a fight that should be there by any means, but it's like anything else in this game. It's easier the 5th time than it is the first time.
Gotcha. I think that may be where I don't know if players then push through, either kind of like hoping for the compensation to be better than it is, or maybe persevered in order to remain competitive. It's hard to kind of find out what.
I mean, you don't want to be the guy that taps out.
Yeah,
If 9 guys are gonna clear and you've got to get through this Hulkbuster, well, you're probably gonna just suck it up.
Yeah.
But you may it may leave a bad it may lead to a bad experience for you.
Again, moving on from that, and that's something to kind of like really talk. I think it's difficult to get an idea whether or not the players felt compensated or not based on where they are. I mean, yeah, like if it's a case people have put more effort into the more items into the grind, then yeah, maybe there should have been more consideration, and maybe Kabam could have taken it on a case by case basis rather than it all sort of being similar. I don't know. This is going to be a difficult one. It's up to the individual player as to if you feel you were done wrong by this, and hopefully there's maybe something in the future that Kabam could go, okay, well, this person's spent.
Hey, Rich, you still there?
I'm still here. Did I drop out? Hello.
Yeah, now you're back.
Okay, I'm back.
Yep.
Man, what's going on? My internet's been terrible today. I've been like trying to like do a crystal opening and it kept on disconnecting.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I'll just move on to the next story.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, moving swiftly on, and Alliance Wars matchmaking.
Oh, it's back. Alliance Wars Season 20.
Yeah.
All the fun of Season 19.
Yeah, I've seen a few things on Twitter where Twitter, I think I've been messaged stuff as well about how players are kind of finding this has been again, this is difficult to talk about when it's what a player would constitute to being fair and unfair.
Right.
I've been having a lot of, I'd say, fair matches. We've just lost because we just haven't done as good as we should have done.
Yeah.
But I understand that you can feel incredibly demoralized when all the enemies you're facing off against, say, have all cleared Abyss of Legends and have rank 3 6-stars that you're going up against in defense.
Yeah. Well, I think where are you at right now? What tier are you at?
Oh, we've just dropped from tier 4 to tier 5.
Okay,
today.
so yeah, so you're still in but you're still playing with the defense tactics.
Yeah.
And where'd you guys finish last season?
We're Platinum 4.
Okay, yeah. So we're like tier 3, Plat 3 right now.
Nice.
Yeah. So I think what we're seeing, I think there's different levels of complaints.
Yeah.
And I think what we're seeing is there's still a little bit of dropping that's taking place. Like when I look at where our alliance is in PI, we're probably 42, 43 million. I see a lot of alliances in that sort of 29 to 35 mil PI rating around us on the scoreboard. And if we matched up with them, they're going to have a lot of difficulty with our defense because a lot of that extra PI is in defenders, but I think that's working itself out. I think the problem and where we're getting more of the complaints is from probably like the gold 3 and below brackets, where things just get wacky, right? Because there's alliances that just don't care about Alliance War, but have these stacked rosters. And so their war rating's pretty low. So you could get an alliance that's pushing, coming up against a much more, higher ranked alliance, right? That, one's really trying, like you get a 6 million alliance that's really trying to work their way up, and they run into a 20 million alliance that could not care less, right? But you get that, and then I think there's that, but and it gets worse if you're not playing 3 battle groups.
Yeah.
I see a lot of the complaints I've seen lately are from people running Alliance War in 1 battle group or 2 battle group, because then you get these really, really big swings because there's a smaller pool.
What do
you do?
Yeah, I think this is going to have to go back to Kabam to kind of sort out something. I know they've said about the future of Alliance Wars and what that will really entail. Could be something of an improvement. Are we encouraging people to say, look, if you want to be in an alliance that now, as of now, delivers a seasons program of platinum and higher, then unfortunately you might have to go elsewhere. It's a weird one because like I've suffered for the I'm gonna say suffered. I know this is what I guess would people have experienced what our alliance is now experiencing. I don't know. Either way, I've had a very unpleasant time with Alliance Wars, and this has been the last season. Apart from this, our season this season started terribly, and that's down to us to kind of turn up and represent a bit more. But as I said, if you want to have more competitive alliance, you're going to have to think about like jumping up a bit. I know that Kabam have buffed the rewards for lower tier alliances I can't remember if it is that lower ranked alliances and like gold 1, gold 2, I think even silver 1 or something has seen a buff. Yeah, it's I think it just needs to go back to Kabam to think I don't know if it's a rethink, but maybe think about how this is affecting others based on having the people that would have somewhat of an advantage by doing little effort. But it's a tough one. I can't say I sympathize with Kabam on the way they've done it, or sympathize with like players' frustrations. It's a really hard one to kind of to talk about.
It is, and I'm trying not to just be totally in my own little bubble here, because this change has been really, really good for my alliance.
Yeah.
We were a gold 1 alliance in the old system, and it was a bloodbath to stay in gold 1. And now I feel like it's less stress to be in plat 3. Like, we didn't change anything, right? It's just now the alliances that were able to avoid us because their prestige was 1,000 less than us can't do it. So I mean, maybe you need a different system for, say, below tier 5 matchmaking. Like, I think once you get to the point of tier 5 and you've got modifiers, like, there's no way, like, you have to be able to face everyone in the pool. Like, there should be no protection based on PI or prestige. Like, once you're at that level, tier 5, you're probably minimum gold 1, but you're competing for platinum. There's no way anyone should be able to duck anyone in platinum or masters. Below that, I could see making an argument for it.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something that they have to look at. But things got really, really out of whack when prestige was a factor. It was really bad, and it made the pool so artificially small that we would face the same alliances every season, sometimes more than once in a season. And it's like, just how is that possible? Like, there should be, like, if you're in gold 1, you're like, okay, we're top 1,500 in the game. Like, how are we facing the same group twice in 12 wars? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I guess more work sort of needs to be done with that to smooth players over. But yeah, it needs to be thrown back to Kabam. I don't think that we can have the answers to that. I know people want to kind of like talk to us about like those pair ups. I think we both agree it is unfair. It's just unfortunately it's the I don't even. I mean, it's fair to say lesser of two evils.
Competition is necessarily unfair. I mean, I think we saw that with the Summoner Showdown. There's just competition is unfair, right? Like, people have advantages in competition.
Yeah,
and some of it was RNG based, and some of it was, are you willing to do the work? Like, did you watch Brian Grant's video on his Medusa runs?
I did. It's like the process. I
The
don't.
work. It's so
Yeah,
impressive,
it is.
right?
But it's the perfect run. That's the thing. It's like it's.
Well, it's the perfect run where he's stripped out his masteries
Oh, I saw that.
and it's like, okay, SP3, then SP2, then SP3, then SP2, then SP1, and you need to just dodge Surfer's SP2 perfectly every time to reduce the number of specials that you're going to punish, and you've got to get the crit. So, yeah, there's RNG to it, but there's also a lot of thought and skill that goes into it, too.
Yeah, even to the point of going like you have to remember to change up the way you play. The play style has to change. You said I think it was 4-hit combo, and then you've got to go into a swipe back, not like a light intercept. It's a not so deep intercept. I can't remember what it was exactly, but the process was just like I admire that. I admire the work rate it's got to be put in, but it's I just don't have the time, even to like a perfect run with my Colossus against Silver Surfer pre-nerf of the show up difficulty. That was like an hour just to kind of like go to a place of playing where I've not had to do that for a long time.
Yeah.
Week 2 though, which will be dropping tomorrow. So with this video going out on the podcast going out on Sunday, tomorrow there will be the new. Week 2, which is no mystics against Captain Marvel movie.
Yeah, I think that's really going to force people to change it up because I don't know about you, but I haven't fought Captain Marvel with a non-mystic on purpose for a long time. So I'm excited to see what people do.
Yeah, I'm already thinking about potential options depending on what because we don't know the nodes. No, we don't know the nodes.
Right. Yeah, we don't know the nodes, so that matters a lot, right? So who are you thinking?
Well, I'm thinking if I manage to put the champion into binary very quickly, and depending on the potency of those Fury buffs, because I can't remember if they'll come up as like standard ones or they'll come up as more like I don't know, ramped up, similar to if you say like Ultron 5.4.6. When you had Loki, you stole the Fury buff from Ultron, and it was really potent.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking, and this may be like, I'm not 100% sure if this will be an option. Rogue.
You think Rogue, huh? So you think steal the Fury buffs?
Yeah.
And I go from there?
Yeah, potentially. But it's one of these things where it's not going to be worth it if the Fury buffs aren't the extent of what you steal though, because I can't remember if it will be scalable Fury buffs or it will be true to what the enemy has. I need to try and remember what Rogue has from the point of her buff stealing, but that could be like one thing to do depending if the champion gets loads of buffs, then do that. I was thinking about Bishop, but I can't really kind of think too much.
Well, he does energy damage, though. I don't think it's going to be someone that does energy damage.
No.
Because then you're going to set her into binary again, and you're going to have to be very good at dodging her SP2 to get the best time, and that's another dicey proposition. I always dodge the special one, but you're just not going to have time to do that. You're going to have to be doing these perfect dodges for the SP2. I think it's going to be it's so hard to say, right? But someone who can do a lot of damage quickly that doesn't rely on energy damage. Like I could see a Venom with max deep wounds being good. Someone like him. Maybe Hyperion. Hyperion's always a go-to for these solo missions, right?
Yeah, what about Gwenpool? Excessive bleeds?
Gwenpool could be another one. And she has that ability accuracy reduction. So would that come into play? I don't know, but that would be another one to watch. I'm looking through on Aunt May and seeing if anybody else is really jumping out at me. Would it be crazy if it's just like Star-Lord and you just combo it up.
Yeah.
Right? Like that could be cool. Although he has that shock on that special too. So that would be very RNG dependent, right? Because that's the go-to big damage special. So yeah, I don't know. There's definitely some options there.
Yeah.
Could be Ghost.
Yeah.
You don't know. It could just be Ghost. She might have that advantage where maybe you can phase the SP2 specials, the beams, and punish them. So I don't know. I'm super interested to see. I hope it's something where we see more than one champion avatar on the leaderboard this time.
I agree, because then I think it was just down to good rotations. Was it Fury buffs and I think it was more armor breaks than anything. But I can't remember. Was it Rich get richer on that one?
I think it did. Yeah.
Yeah. So that did have Fury buffs.
So that's important too.
Yeah, so that'll be the thing.
You need more Fury buffs.
Yeah, will Caban put something out that's dependent on a character having a certain buff, or volume of buffs, or debuffs, or will there be a debuff in play that's going to be frustrating? Will there be heal block? Will there be something that negates that suicide mastery tendency that we saw quite predominantly last week?
Yeah. Although I think just the suicide mastery story, I think that got a little overblown because for a couple reasons. One, if you looked at, say, what Brian Grant was doing to get on the leaderboard, it was a lot more than just chucking on suicide masteries and calling it a day. Like, you had to make your account basically unplayable for any fight in the game except for the Summoner Showdown, right? Like, you had to devote a tremendous amount of time to that. It wasn't just a simple matter of, if I only had suicide masteries, I'd be competitive. I think people need to be a little bit honest with themselves about how much work it was really going to take to get on that leaderboard.
Yeah. I mean, in a roundabout way, it was sort of suicide masteries in that it was complete suicide to your account.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We'll go through the technicality that
Can you imagine if you accidentally logged into the AQ and be like got pinged and be like, I gotta move real quick, and forgot.
Oh no!
Oh no! You just start getting shredded, and it's like, oh man, especially with some of those epic mods where you instantly start getting damage or heal blocked, or it's turn the tide.
Yeah.
that could be pretty nasty right there. So I've definitely, oh man, what was it the other day, right? So I was having a Bad Alliance war. I was on tilt, right? I was running the end of the second half of Path 7, and I was having a traumatically bad war. I died 4 times in 2 fights in the back end of 7. So I got stun locked twice on the with a against the Stark Spider-Man on that node where you have to throw the special or you get stunned. And then I died twice to a Nick Fury, and then I had a Dormammu. So I turned off dexterity to take my G-Hulk against the Dormammu. And I soloed it, and it was fine. But then I was like, all right, I'm moving in AQ, and I'm going to bed. Right? And I forgot that I turned dexterity off, and my next fight was against an Iron Man. And then I, of course, got hit with his SP1 beam, right? I went to swipe back, and I got hit, and I didn't even remember what I did, and I'm just I thought I was the worst player in the world. Now I can't even dodge Iron Man. I'm turning the game off, And then I realized what I had done. I had dexterity off. I was full tilt. It was hilarious in retrospect. But you know what I mean? Sometimes you're just all right, I just want to get this done.
Yeah.
And oh man, it was I think we actually won that war despite my ineptitude.
That turnaround moment where you're like, oh yay, that's good.
Oh yeah, no,
yay. Yeah, I know those moments.
Right, we've all had them, Rich. We've all had them.
So true. It's been a good week. It's been a good week so far for the Legends event.
It has been a good week. Legends event's been fun. I like that they took some of the energy requirements out. That was cool. I just wish the 7-hour crystal was like this auto thing that popped up.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
hate having to remember to look for it, but gold boost, battle chip boost all day long. Love
Yeah.
it. Needed that badly. Getting a lot of gold. It's been a big help. So I think overall, been really cool. I like these events.
Yeah, I think that it's very much more stacked than a summoner appreciation event. They keep on evolving, which I like. I like that Kabam are evolving the way that they're delivered.
Yeah,
Because
we got a lot more than I expected from this event.
absolutely. I mean, it's been like a busy old time. I don't know. Like, if we had Summer of Pain, I don't know. I mean, for me, like, I just don't have as much time to, even with like having like micro holidays, hanging out with friends. I'm struggling for extra time to grind out. I think my estimations were that I would be able to fit in a 100% completion of Act 6.2, and I won't be able to do it. I just will run out of time. The weekend I've got to 100% variant 5, and I've got to do all those Herald quests and grind arena, which that's it. That's 2 days gone. And then I've got other stuff I need to do in amongst that. But that's just how it rolls. Like, I'll have to then sandwich some time in. I think I'm going to have to take like an entire day, 2 days maybe off to focus on Act 6.2 100%. Otherwise, I'm going to get behind on content.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I've been a little stressed, right? Because I want to do these 2-star arenas, and I want to use all my Herald tokens. I would like to make some more progress in Variant 5. I've been a little stalled out on that. And, I actually want to make content as a content creator.
Yeah, that's
That's
the
thing is, and I think we've talked about this before, but you and I do a lot more content that is not directly related to our gameplay.
Correct. Yeah.
Which does slow us down because we're not. I know you live stream a lot, but our main content is news related, so we can't be playing the game while we're making the content. We can't just like I'm gonna show what I'm gonna play through Variant 5 as my content for the day. Like, that's not what we do. So that does make it difficult. I mean, I'd much rather the game has a lot going on and is boring, and sometimes you just have to make a choice that, okay, I'm not going to get to this because it's not my priority, but there's a lot of stuff that's so cool that it's like, well, I want to do all the boss rushes. I want to do this 2-star arena. I got to find some time.
Yeah.
And maybe I want to play some Realm.
Yeah, it's one of these things where it's a wielding and falling on my own sword at the same time. Again, you same thing, hit the nail on the head there with this. Like, I made a conscious decision. The way that I deliver Marvel Contest of Champions news was that I put effort into its construction and delivery. So between a research time, a recording time, editing time, and release, and as well trying to give something that's entertaining, interesting, and is showing that I am evolving as a YouTuber, it is what it is. It's a 5-hour piece. I don't make enough money on it to warrant an editor. So time-wise, it's those 5 hours could be gone into the game for sure. But do I want to creatively say I want to deliver something that is subpar? No. Like, I delivered something that was subpar on Monday and it only got 5,000 views. I go back to putting my effort that people enjoy, love and appreciate 2 days later, and it's 14,000 views.
Yeah, well, there you go, right?
And yeah, I mean, not to say like that, I'm just out there for views. It's like, look, all that stuff is key information that I want to deliver. I've been working on my YouTube channel for 4 years, and there's a lot of stuff. Like, I do love keeping up to date with the stuff. I try and be as not competitive, but I try to keep up with the rest, but also at the same time I want to deliver something that is either, number one, different, and this is why I loved us doing and continue doing the Incursion series, because it's just injecting something new into the community, which is like, it's not a rank up video, a guide, or something that's like normal within the community, a YouTube community.
Yeah. Well, as far as YouTube goes, brand new end game content is always going to get the most views. There's no way around that, and there's no winning that battle for us.
Yeah.
Because we're not trying to be absolute end game players. So you just, like you said, you just got to find your role in it and bring something unique, and the people that are going to appreciate it, and you see what those people like, and then you try to make what they like better and give them more of it. And they're just, you really have to be happy with your process at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's what it's about. Like, you have to develop a process that's good for you, because you can't always determine the result, right? Like, you don't know when you post that video how many views it's going to get.
True.
So you have to say, all right, this is up to my standards. This is the kind of content I want to make, and just be confident in that.
Yeah, that's very true. Keep on fighting, people. That's
right.
That's the narrative.
Well, very quickly, do you want to talk about the insanity that is going to be the update coming next week?
Oh God,
because I'm super hyped, because I love the Mutant events, and we usually get one in August or September. This year it's going to be September, and this year has been the year of the unknown champion, the hidden gem champion. Well, that's taking a hard turn because we're getting 2 A-listers in September, Professor Xavier, and finally Apocalypse.
Yeah.
And not just any Apocalypse, but classic armored up blue 90s X-Men animated series version Apocalypse.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful thing.
They've gone with like a few kind of subtle changes, but it's not like something that I'd ever I could never complain at. It's just the delivery, the look is spot on. It's
perfect. The armor looks like it's damaged and worn, like he's actually 5,000 years old and is maybe taken a hit or two. I love it so much.
Yeah, the way that they've also got like there's little things like the way that they've got the Ankh is into the A.
Right. Combining the A for Apocalypse with the Egyptian hieroglyph. Yeah.
That's so cool. They've got
their art department doesn't miss a trick.
Yeah, I can't. They've got the tubes as well coming from the back of the shoulder blade into, I would assume. Also, Marvel Contest Champions have just put something as you can now wait for the motion comic for.
Really?
Yeah.
Look at them getting fancy. Look at that.
It's cool. Got the way that the Ankh is. Yeah, they got the tubes as well coming from the back of. Well, I know he's wielding guns, but I don't think that would be a permanent feature. I think that's just going to be there for the point of like he can do that.
Yeah, he can shapeshift.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Oh God, I can't wait for the animations. I don't know when the animations will drop. It'll probably be in the next coming days. So if this is out on Sunday, then it'll probably be either. Well, I don't know when it'll be, but my God.
Yeah, well, it looks like the motion comics dropping Monday, 1 p.m. my time, 6 p.m. your time. So I would imagine that that's going to coincide with more information about Apocalypse.
Yeah, because then we've got the drop. We'll have the drop of the event days after. So, God, I don't know. I'm a little bit scared to go up against Apocalypse. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, he looks like a bad dude.
He does.
He better be XL. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that battle on the forums if he's not XL?
I'm got this feeling he's going to be the same size as Dormammu.
Well, that would be. I mean, that would be okay. It would be okay. I'm just talking about more like the champion tag. So.
Oh God! Imagine if Apocalypse taking it into Variant 2.
That would be cool. That would be very cool.
God. I mean, we don't know much more than you guys know. So soon as Monday drops, it's going to be all exciting. It's going to be exciting. You're going to love it. But
some other. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was going to say it was going to lead us into what we've also got with release notes and more information.
Yeah, it's a spicy release note, right? I mean, we already know about the Mutant Treasure Island thanks to Kabamboo's Pirate Post.
Yeah, Pirate Post. I love that.
Pirate Post. But you know what? I'm excited about selling from Stash.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh man, that is some quality of life. You think of the time that you've wasted taking things out of your inventory and going back and forth and back and forth. It's just this is great. Hashtag Metal getting a huge update for Magneto. So Magneto's going to have even more fun now with that. And we've got hashtag sorting in game too. Yeah,
that is so much more easier to structure what you've got in the roster, and especially I think as well just coming up with a few counters here and there and preparing yourself for content.
Yeah, and the tags have become more and more important, right? So we should be able to search them in game because we have to actually make decisions based on those tags.
Yeah, for sure. I can't remember if there's anything else that's substantial from the notes. Just loading them up now quickly.
I think we've covered everything. The Act 6 adjustments. We pretty much got through everything.
The influx of hashtag cool Metal. That's something, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to see. Influx. Is the Annihilus one is big.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's big because and Nova. So those are and Heimdall, Thor Rags. I mean, some of these okay, like Thor Jane Foster, fine, but like Annihilus, Nova, those are big time defenders.
Yeah.
So this is just giving Magneto even more of a buff when it comes to potential as an Alliance War attacker.
Yeah, I just don't think if there's anything that I go up against. No, I don't. I mean, for me, I don't come up against any of those.
Yeah.
What about from an offensive point of view, using Corvus Glaive? I saw somebody mention that they feel this is a bit of a nerf towards Corvus from a...
Well, I think Corvus is the new Blade when it comes to sensitivity about nerfs. When anything is introduced in game that Corvus might have the slightest problem with. It's like, I'm sorry, Captain OP might need to get in an extra 2 hits versus Magneto, and you're gonna struggle to get that mutant charge. It's I don't know. It's when Ghost, Quake, and Corvus players complain about any counter being a nerf to their champion. It's just like, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't take it that seriously. But I guarantee there will be complaints about it. So I'm prepared to get hate now. And yes, I have a 565 Corvus and a 565 Ghost, and I have Quake too. I don't play her a lot, but
no, I mean I'm
not something I'm worried about.
No, say about it. I've got Corvus. Last time I used him probably was the last. I think week 3 of Boss Rush.
Yeah,
I think it's the last time I've used him. Not to say that there hasn't been any other opportunity to use it. It's like the Herald of Galactus difficulty. The lane that I like was I could use Corvus if I wanted to, but I think it was explosive personality in the Mysterio fight, the top play, the top path to go, or do I choose Toxicant with the bottom? And I was like, do you know what? I can't really be bothered to use Corvus here. I'll only get 2 charges. And I'm like, well, should I? Shan't I? I go up against a Dark Hawk at the end of it, so I'm like, I'll go with the easy option and go Toxicant.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I think as long as you can still dodge Magneto's SP1, your Corvus is going to be just fine.
Yeah, because that hasn't changed. That's the thing. Nope. It's not any kind of like animations or stuff that's changed that it's painful. It's just Is what it is. Is what it is. Right. I think we'll briefly talk about Realm, because they're I haven't played as much as I should have done. I think that's the problem. Whilst I was away on like a mini vacation at the weekend, I thought to myself, I'll have a few hours to kind of play. I ran out of time. I kept running out of time. So I'm a little bit behind with playing. I've tried to catch up with any kind of ongoing developments. Apart from, I know a lot of players are struggling with matchmaking. It's difficult in a beta because there's ones that have players that are further advanced in battle rating. So it's difficult to get the pair up. When the full launch is
I've definitely seen that.
Yeah,
especially today.
Was that the one that
a little bit rough?
It was Dragon Post. Was it Dragon Starfighter?
I think it was Katie. I had a bad one too, where it was like a couple people with 1,000 PI against my team, which was like a 400 average. So I get this. Yeah, I get the sense that a lot of people jumped in day one, and some people have progressed really hard, but I don't know progressed really well. But I don't know that there's been more players that have really come into the ecosystem since then. So I think there's less people at the lower ranks right now, just because it is a really small pool, and they did down tune Sorcerer Supreme a little bit. I never got to play her in the original form, but she was pretty nasty to play against her. So I would expect balance tuning to be a regular part of Realm, but it's a very different game in terms of champion acquisition, because you unlock the champions in Realm versus spinning and buying crystals in MCOC. So hopefully any sort of tuning will not be met with quite the resistance that it is in MCOC. Based on the economic model of the game.
Yeah, I mean, we're still in beta at the moment. It's like MCOC is years down the line, and yeah, I think this is fair to start off with kind of like making some alterations to what's going on. We might be live stream. We on with Royal Marshall after this.
I don't think Royal's going to be able to join us, just based on time. But
how's it work then? Are you able to? Because I haven't tried it, to matchmake a third person randomer.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, so we should be all right. But if I see someone I know in my friends list that is online when we jump on, I will send them an invite and we will get into it.
Cool. I do need you to carry me a little bit because I'm a little bit behind.
That's all right. We'll figure it out. We'll have a good time.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's not really much to report on with Marvel Realm. I have seen that they've been dropping the boxes, the crates. Is it the crates have been dropping like once? Was it once a week that you can buy like a crate of gear, like times 4 gear?
Yeah, it looks like the in-game purchases did go live in the last week. So.
And there's not really much else, I think, to kind of like... Yeah, there's not really that much. I think we're just going to have to get on with the grind, talk about where we are.
Yeah, we'll talk about it more in the live stream.
Yeah. Good. Well, I think that's covered it, unless there's anything that you want to address or talk about, Dan.
Yeah, let me just give people the quick calendar rundown for next week, because there is a lot going on. Yeah. We should see the update in the app stores Monday or Tuesday of next week. On Monday, you've got Summer Showdown Week 2, Captain Marvel movie. And then on Wednesday, normal time, you're going to see the Event Quest and the Omega Boss Rush go live. So Omega Boss Rush is something we haven't talked about, but 31 fights in a row, Rich. Get ready for it. Next week... Yeah.
My balance is going to be my bank balance. I tell you what, September I'm gonna be called RichTheMan, I think.
Are you gonna be spinning some crystals?
I'm probably gonna go for Apocalypse House of X Charles Xavier, or Professor X House of X, whatever the final name is. I'll probably be doing the doubles of them. Will I do early access? I don't know. 'Cause I don't know if Scarlet Witch is going to have early access. We don't know.
Right. You're still factoring that in, right? Wouldn't it be amazing? You spend all your money, then they drop those Scarlet Witch crystals on you. You will be salty. That is a nightmare.
Yeah, I only need to get a once though. Man, I'd
Yeah,
love
yeah.
to. The first time I get a 6-star from a Cavalier Crystal, that it be Apocalypse. That would be
That
what I'd
would
love.
be pretty cool. That would
Yeah.
be pretty cool. Yeah. So let's see. Also next week, Mojo is going to be your Mole Man, not Mojo. Mole Man's your 4-star basic, and make sure you're in Alliance by Friday when Alliance War season rewards lock.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's about it. Other than that, I'm gonna be playing some Realm with you, Rich, and plugging away on Variant 5 guides.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing something similar. I still haven't planned what I'm doing next week. I'm going to spend the weekend just planning what I'm doing. Probably trying to do a Variant 5 guide as well. But I just don't know. Time. I need more time. I think we both need more hours in the day.
I need more time too, man. Absolutely. Everything needs to slow down.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you everybody for listening to the podcast, and as well to those that have supported on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes podcasts, and YouTube. Thank you very much. Have a lovely Sunday, and we'll see you next week for a lot of thrills, spills, and mutant takeover. More ha ha ha. The dawn of apocalypse is upon us.